Welcome to a very damp and wet LD Nutrition Stadium, Post Office Road in Old Money here for the final round of the regular season of the Betfred Women's Super League. Featherstone Rovers taking on Wakefield Trinity. It's a side who have won their last 3 games in Featherstone Rovers, 5th in the Super League table, 3 points behind the Wigan Warriors. Of course, they can't make it into the playoff places, unfortunately, with their run going in a little bit too late. Wakefield with 1 win from their 13 games so far. They are bottom coming into this game. Other games today: St Helens take on Castle, but that's now a 3 o'clock kick-off. Leeds take on Wigan at 2 o'clock in 2 potential previews of the grand final, and Bradford don't take on York because that game has been postponed, which is interesting for many and various reasons, especially for the fate of Wakefield at the bottom of the table. But we'll talk more about that in a moment, because the teams are coming out here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. A nice warm round of applause from the spectators here this afternoon to watch this final game of the season for both Featherstone and Wakefield. It is wet. It's not the best of conditions here this afternoon at the LD Nutrition Stadium, but they won't be bothered by that. We're happy enough to go out there and warm up on it, aren't they? The smart ones didn't warm up in their kits. James Stephenson's alongside me this afternoon at the LD Nutrition Stadium. You're happy to be up here rather than down there, then?
Yeah, I think I am actually. It's not a very pleasant day for them to be playing in, but yeah, nice and dry up here.
For the moment, at least, anyway. As long as the rain stays blowing the other way, we'll be all right here as the teams line up for this final game of the season. Wakefield's first, of course, in Super League, and they will kick off attacking the open terrace here at the LD Nutrition Stadium these days. Much changed in the last few years as the crowd goes silent in anticipation of a kick-off here. Yeah, make sure you're on side, that's always a good start. As I wait for the about to get this game kicked off. Semi-finals next week in the Super League, and the grand final on the day before the men's grand final at the totally wicked stadium as Featherstone starts 10 metres out from their own line, and a nice carry there gets them up past their own 20 already. So good start from Featherstone. Very damp conditions, can't expect much expansive rugby this afternoon. Another 10 metres made by Rovers as they make their way up to the 30-metre line, back onto the inside as good tackling there by Wakefield sees them just make the 5 metres this time. And they move the ball out back onto that right-hand side again. Nice collision there in the tackle. Wakefield looking to set up for these the final tackle play coming up in a moment. What can Featherstone do here then as they come back with Dobson through the centre? She's taken down on halfway. So first test now for the Wakefield kick return team, if we're in the NFL. As the ball is put up by Katie Hepworth. Left to bounce, and Amy Brinkley picks the ball up and returns. Almost evades the first tackle, but is taken down about 15 metres out from her own line. Decent first defensive set there from Wakefield.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll do world of good for the confidence. Featherstone brought the ball out really well, but yeah, Wakefield's defence were pretty solid.
What kind of game were you expecting this afternoon? Featherstone obviously won their last 3, but were pushed close by York last week.
Yeah, Feather been a little bit hit and miss this year. They've had some really good results, good performances. But I think as the season's gone on, they've got better with each game. And I think that result they got against Wigan a couple of weeks back were outstanding, to be fair. So it's a tight one today. I think the conditions might level it. May go in our favour, who knows?
Yeah, very damp here, as you can see, as it is all across the north of England right now. As a Wakefield attack down onto the wing, as Featherstone's defence almost takes work on the touch, but good presence of mind there. And the ball is kicked high on the last. Left to bounce by Dyke and picked up eventually 30 metres out from their own line by the full-back today for Rovers, Casey Bullman, who's taken down just short of the 40-metre line. So good start here, good starting position for Featherstone as Chloe Reynolds now takes the ball, evades the first tackle. Can she evade the second? No, that's a good cover tackle there by Wakefield's Alicia Rhodes. And Featherstone into the Wakefield half then. Can they get the first points on the board early stages here at the LD Nutrition Stadium? 40 metres out. They come onto this left-hand side this time. Epworth hands off to Dobson, who's taken down 30 metres out there, bang in front of the posts. Appealing for a penalty, Featherstone, but referee says no, just get on with it, as they again come through the hands of Epworth, and the ball eventually is knocked on by Featherstone. So first error goes the way of the home side, and Wakefield will get the scrum 30 metres from their own line. So decent starting position here for Wakefield.
Yeah, I think that was a good set by Featherstone again, but Wakefield defended pretty well, and the final pass from Featherstone just didn't go to hand, so a bit fortunate. So I think if they can come out and control this ball, this next 5 or 6 tackles, and make some yardage, we can push them back.
Ryan ready to feed the scrum. Scrums, of course, which are a mess in men's or women's rugby league these days. It doesn't matter. It's good hands there by Amy Brindley to keep hold of it. Very good hands, because she finds a gap on the outside, but eventually is taken down. So Wakefield, a little bit fortuitous there, but still in possession, which is the main thing. But good fast tackling there from Mark by Featherstone. Wakefield make no meetings, rather very quick off the mark again are Featherstone, and Wakefield need to find a way of getting the ball out of the ruck quickly this time. What will they do? Zanre's waiting at dummy half. It's in the arms of Taylor. Taylor takes the ball up, met by 2 Featherstone Rovers, eventually 3. Good defence here by Fevers. They eventually play the ball to Wakefield, again looking for a penalty, but not happening this time, as it's in the arms of Swain. It takes 2 to eventually push her back and push her down, and not the best of sets from Wakefield. They're only 10 metres or so made, but they'll kick the ball away on the last 40 away from their own line. Rather an awful pass. And what are Wakefield going to do here? Well, this is not the best end to a set, unfortunately, and Featherstone get the ball on the handover.
Yeah, a bit sloppy that. A 5th tackle, kicker set to put it downfield, and pass went to no one, so they need to defend this up now, make up for their error.
0-0, 5 gone at the Alney Nutrition Stadium. You're joining us live this afternoon. You've made the right decision. It's absolutely belting it down here in Featherstone this afternoon. It's like the old days when you used to watch the games on grandstand. You used to focus on the rain over the posts.
I was only about 5 back then, so I can't really remember.
Well, they used to show Featherstone on the telly in the old days. Of course, they're on the telly tonight. Down in the south of France, you understand it's warm and sunny down there in Toulouse.
Yeah, fancy them and all. I think they'll pull it off and get through to grand final, to that £1 million game.
Imagine if they beat Toronto.
That'd be outstanding.
Imagine if they beat Toronto.
Well, that's what everyone said last year, and London did it, so I don't see any reason why Featherstone can't. They've had a really good run in this last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, those in John at Wakefield and Castle would be very happy to see Featherstone in Super League.
Yeah.
As this is, of course, probably the best facility of the 3 in the district, as Featherstone starts, as we restart 30 metres out from the Wakefield line. So a big defensive test here for Wakefield, first real defensive test of the game, as Hannah Bairstow waits at dummy half, gets the ball out, and eventually another knock on from Featherstone this time, and it is Grace Cotton this time who loses possession, and I think that might be a feature of the game in this weather, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's whoever can control the ball the best today. Probably not play too expansive, but just basic rugby might get the upper hand by the end of the game.
Bit of a breeze around as well. Lovely autumn conditions. You can tell the grand finals are approaching when we have this kind of weather. It's almost like the weather we had at the women's grand final last year, which was absolutely dreadful between Wigan and Leeds at some random stadium in Manchester. Hopefully it's a lot better at the Totally Wicked in a couple of weeks' time, as Wakefield break from the base of the scrum and knock on again. They're just trying to play too much. I don't want to be critical. I'm not an expert in these matters, but these are not the conditions to try things in.
I mean, what I see, they shaped up pretty comfortable, but it was just a lack of communication. So the line she run for that ball, it were opposite to where the ball were going. So a bit of a waste on your own on 10 metre line now, and Featherstone are in possession, so they're going to put some pressure on here. Got to stand up with defence.
Yeah, got to have someone at the base of the scrum as well, as Featherstone will feed. Numbers out on this left-hand side, and that's the way they go through the centre of the field. The Featherstone Rovers about 15 metres out from their own from the line, and as they come down through the centre once again, Jess Hammond this time taken down about 5 away. Bairstow waiting at dummy half, goes to the left, again back on the inside. Nice pass that one. Can Featherstone get over the line? They can.
Yeah,
that was the opening try of the game.
Yeah, Featherstone just did everything right there. Nothing too fancy. I think the line speed from Wakefield was too slow. You can't wait on your line when you're putting input pressure and you've got to get into them, and just collision wasn't strong enough. So fair play to Featherstone.
Yeah, nice pass on the inside from Katie Hepworth. So they take a 4-0 lead here. Zoe Teese, I think it was, with the try. Our expert spotter spotting now. They have big numbers on the back of the shirts at Featherstone, but they're still quite little away from us at the top of the main stand here. There's Hepworth, who set up that try as the first conversion attempt of the game. And the kick is good.
Yeah, great kick. Well struck.
6-0 the score then, as the rain, the wind has changed and the rain is now hitting us in the face at the top of the LD Nutrition Stadium. Wakefield looking to get back in this one, force an error. It has been a game where I think who can force the most errors or make the least could go on to get the victory here. Featherstone looking for their 4th win in a row, and if results go the way you'd expect today, and they would only then finish 1 point behind Wigan, who take on Leeds. Their game kicking off or due off at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Saints and Castleford. Many think that will be the grand final. That one kicks off at 3 this afternoon. Next week's semi-finals, of course, Saints versus Leeds and Castleford versus Wigan, as the kick from Wakefield is fielded by Featherstone. And again, they make some good metres there, up to their own 20-metre line already. But good defence there by Wakefield, forced the knock-on. It's all about errors, we said. It was a good run, but a very good defence there by Wakefield to force the knock-on. Yeah, they followed that kick up pretty strong, and there was a fumble in the tackle. I didn't think the ref had seen it, but fortunately has. So what can they do with the ball now? Hopefully not drop it and we'll get some yards and maybe get a score. Well, we'll find out shortly, because the ball is at the base stick and with Zanray. She's looking to her right. She pushes off one tackler, but the second one in takes her down. So Wakefield starting 20 metres out from the Featherstone line. Best position of the game so far. It's in the arms of Ryan. Ryan with the ball off to Taylor, who again makes a good 5 metres there. And Zanray's pointing right, which I'm sure means she'll go left, and she does. And it's into the arms of Ryan again. Ryan on the inside. Nice ball there. Nice run here from Wakefield. Can they get over the line? Catlin just taken down. Crowd certainly behind her as Zanway this time goes right. Spins the ball left. Danny Swain, can she get over the line? Oh, close there, very close. Inches short, a little set play at the ruck there, and it opened up for her, but they covered well, did Featherstone. Good defence. Yeah, good defence from Featherstone. First time they've been tested in this game. It's the last. Which way will they go? Numbers on the left, shouting, screaming for the ball. Ryan with the kick. It is out to the left-hand side. Ball is high. Not dealt with by Featherstone. This should be a try for Wakefield. It is, I think. Is it? No, it's no. The referee's going to talk to his touch judge. I think she got that down, but with no replay here. So, what does the video referee say? I think it was Rhodes who got it down. I'm not 100% sure on that. Well, it would definitely Alicia Rhodes. He's not giving it. Right. Give that knock-on. Unfortunate though, because we've been pretty good at scoring from kicks this year, and if it were floated over very well to the opposite end of the ground by Emma Ryan. Great follow-up from Alicia, unfortunately not given. Yeah, just forced the questions to be asked of the Featherstone defence. They didn't answer them, but Wakefield able to score this time. Zanray appealing for a penalty at dummy half, but not happening as Dobson puts the ball on the inside. A few people in the crowd thought that was high, but the referee says it was around the shoulder, and they play the ball onto this left-hand side this time to Featherstone Rovers. Just up to the halfway line. Jess Hammond taken down just over halfway. There's a Bairstow luxury option. She goes back onto the inside. Lateral pass there sees Featherstone up to the 40-metre line. Already leading by 6 points to 0. 10 minutes gone in the first half here at the LD Nutrition Stadium in this final game of the Betfred Womens Super League season for both these sides. It's the try scorer Teese who gets the half break, but he's taken down by 2 Wakefield players. They're 30 metres out now. Back to Hepworth, who kicks onto the right-hand side. There's no one there, no one from either side, and eventually the ball is in the arms of a Featherstone player, and the referee says it was touched by Wakefield, and they're back to 1. So Featherstone with a full set inside the 20. Can they extend their lead as the rain continues to come down here at the LD Nutrition Stadium? They're looking on to this left-hand side again in the arms of Bairstow. Bairstow on to Dobson. Dobson runs straight into Taylor. And eventually 3 Wakefield players will push the former England international back. Referee says that wasn't a knock-on, but he then does say it was a knock-on. And some, again, good defence from Wakefield there. And they will get the ball, not in the best of positions, but 10 metres out from their own line. And I guess it's safety-first football to get back up to the other end of the field.
Yeah, I think Wakefield just need to try and play the ball down a little bit. They're letting Featherstone get quite a bit of front foot football, which is allowing them to make some yardage as well. So let's see what they can do coming out of their own 10.
Enthusiastic crowd here at the LD Nutrition. I'm sure a few of them will be back tonight, of course, for that big game. Speaking of big tackle there by Featherstone Rovers from Dobson as Wakefield 10 metres out from their own line and unable to make too many metres at the moment. Featherstone's defence holding strong, 6-0 they lead. So they go onto the left-hand side again into the arms of Moxon, who comes back on the inside, finds a gap, and Dobson with the one-on-one tackle almost gets the ball steal as well there. But 2 Featherstone players eventually take Moxon down. Ken appeals for a penalty, but the referee just getting on with things today. I'm not seeing many penalties, just get on with the game. Taylor this time runs into the line, and she's taken down just short of the 40. And again, there is a penalty this time. Yeah,
I just want to touch on Tara Moxon. We picked Tara up. She's been fined at season for us, actually. She's come from rugby union, and she's adjusted to league really well over the last 5 or 6 games, and she's got an absolute bright future in this sport if she sticks with us, and I just see her getting better and better each time she plays. So really pleased that Tara's enjoying her rugby league and that she's still with us.
It's something that there's obviously a much bigger crossover between the 2 codes in the women's game, because obviously there's a much bigger talent pool out there to find players from.
There is, and you know, we've tinkered with it a little bit, and we've had quite a few girls come in on talent transfer. Some have took to the game and some haven't, but there's definitely some talent out there.
And it is Moxon again. She's got a good evasive style, hasn't she? Taken down 40 out as the fans getting behind both sides in this one. Zanre urging people to come closer to her on the left-hand side, and that's the way they go this time. As Rhodes is taken down just inside just outside the 30. Zanre at dummy half makes a little run this time. Puts the ball off to Taylor. He's taken down 20 away. Last tackle, but they kick to the left this time. I'm sure they'll kick to the right this time because that's where the numbers are. If they can get the ball away, and they can, it's Ryan who will hoist the ball high into space as well. Billington's chasing it, but it's got just too much on it. Good kick, but a good idea, just a little bit too much on it.
Yeah, the bounce just didn't go in the favour of Wakefield there, because it got a good follow-up, and I think if they'd have got the bounce, they'd have definitely been in.
So Featherstone with the 7 tackle set, 20 metres out. And again, they get that 8 metres made already. So Wakefield back on the defence, trailing by 6 points to 0. Featherstone with the sole try of the game so far, again making their way up, but Wakefield's defence pushing them back a bit this time. Only another 10 metres made this time as they just short of the 40. It's into the arms of Casey Bullman, who's named at fullback this afternoon. She's taken now 5 short of halfway, so Featherstone still moving up to Bairstow. Bairstow to Dobson, but not much space for Dobson there. Gets the pass away though to Hepworth. Hepworth, good hands here from Featherstone as they get out onto this left-hand side. It's into the arms of Hazel this time, who's taken down. It looks like Moxon may have taken a knock there. Good hands there by the Featherstone Rovers side.
Yeah, I think there were clashing knees by Billington and Moxon in that tackle there. Hopefully it's just something to note and they can get it rubbed off, get some spray on it, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, so a slight breaking play. Nice chance for both teams to take on a bit of water, get a bit of oxygen in their lungs. Good first 15 minutes. I know we've had a few errors with the weather conditions, but it's been an entertaining game so far.
Yeah, it's pretty balanced. Both teams are defending well, and Featherstone just seem to have an upper hand at the minute with ball in hand, but as the game goes on, I suppose if we can keep defending them plays, the frustration might kick in. And
Billington's up. Moxon has 2 of the medical staff looking at it. They've got the magic spray out, the magic cream or whatever it is. Well, we've got this slight break. First season for Wakefield in the Super League. Expected to finish bottom. Might finish bottom, but I'm sure there's plenty of positives to take from it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we knew where we were at this year, and I think we found it a lot tougher than we expected because we had a really good pre-season training. We felt fit, we felt fresh. And although the majority of results have gone heavily against us, we've always been able to compete for a period of time in a game. And I think the good thing about it is they must learn so much from this year to take us forward into next season.
And a good chance for Wakefield to go forward here with Featherstone. I don't want to call them Castle for doing me. Featherstone knocking on from the scrum. Oh dear. So Sanray plays the ball onto the inside, and it's into the arms of Reynard, who's taken down just over the halfway line. You learn plenty of lessons when things are against you in sport, and those are the things that will come to pass when things are better. Taylor taken down just over the 40-metre line. So Wakefield looking for their first points of the game. Zanaway with the ball in hand, that looked forward, but the referee and touch judge don't see that, and Catlin's taken down just short of the 30. To the right this time into the arms of Ryan. Ryan with the ball back on the inside to Taylor. Good tackle there. I think Featherstone read that move, but
yeah, great tackle by Natalie Harrowell there. She hit her with everything she'd got.
There's some experienced players in this Featherstone side as they're just outside the 20. So which way they're going this time? I think they're going on to the right. Ryan gets the ball. Bairstow tries to put the pressure on. A little grubber kick through, and it will just go into touch just before the dead ball line. So a good kick there by
absolutely.
Wakefield.
Actually, a really good kick. I think our winger then just were a little bit unsure which direction it was going. If she'd have followed it up straight, there were potential. So
inch perfect kick into touch just before the corner flag, and it's a scrum for Featherstone. Good opportunity for Wakefield to pin them down, force another error. Coming up to 20 minutes gone in the first half, still 6-0 to Featherstone Rovers.
It's a little bit of an arm wrestle at the minute. I think neither team have found their tempo yet. And like I said a bit earlier, the weather's levelling it out quite good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the game if it stays like this.
So Brogan Cherm off the bench, who was tackled on the first attempt, and they've lost the ball. And the referee looks at his touch judge and says it will be a scrum to Wakefield. So Wakefield will get the ball 20 metres out from the Featherstone line. Forcing plenty of errors here, of course. If Wakefield were to go on to win today, they would go above York in the table, depending on when York play Bradford.
Well, I believe the York-Bradford game might have been postponed today.
It has.
Yes.
Which is fortuitous.
Yeah, the girls, they're all out there to win today's fixture. Hopefully they can do that, but they just want to make a good account of themselves and compete all the way through to the 80th minute.
Yeah, they're certainly doing that at the moment as Zanray looks for options. As Swain plays the ball. Ryan with the ball off to Catlin, who had no space to work with there, and knocks the ball on, and it will be a scrum to Featherstone now at 10 metres out. And I guess it is a case of they have been given plenty of opportunities in the last 5-10 minutes now. Wakefield just haven't been able to take advantage of any of them yet.
Yeah, just a couple of things where the communication may have just broke down, or the lines are running out as planned. So just got to defend up again and see what they can do. Try and force another error. Featherstone keep them down in their quarter.
Watson pats the scrum down at loose forward to make up the numbers as Featherstone come down onto the left-hand side, leading by 6 points to 0. 19 minutes gone here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Final Betfred Women's Super League games of the season for both these sides. Featherstone on a run of 3 straight victories, 2 over York, and they beat Bradford in the middle of those as well, which ended Bradford's hopes of making the playoffs. Kind of left the end of the season with not much to play for, really, with that defeat for Bradford against Featherstone, who of course picked up that big win against Wigan a few weeks ago as Dobson puts the ball onto the inside. Good hands there, and well recovered by Featherstone as they lose a few yards. Not too happy with that one, wasn't Casey Bullman. Don't see anything too unfair with the tackle from Danny Swain, but there you go, just up to halfway. So how can Wakefield come back from this set as the ball is kicked from Hepworth and goes into touch? Not the best of kicks there, and gives Wakefield a decent starting position. As we approach the halfway mark of the first half.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of frustration setting I think Wakefield's defence have been getting in the faces of the Featherstone girls, and I think it's just putting them off their game plan slightly, which is good for Wakefield's point of view.
It's always difficult, isn't it, for when teams are expected to win and they're given a challenge, how they face up against that one. And that's the key perhaps for Featherstone at the moment, is their mindset going into the second half of this first half. And so Wakefield in the arms of Taylor to get the ball up to just short of their own 40-metre line. So what can they do this time out? As Featherstone aim to keep them at bay once again. It's cut off the bench, runs powerfully, but the ball comes out of the tackle. And it will be Featherstone this time from the scrum, 40 metres from the Wakefield line.
Yeah, it was a good drive by Georgia. Unfortunately, I think during collision, she's just got the ball dislodged, and the referee's seen that as a knock-on. So,
I asked this last time I was at the Mobile Rocket for the Wakefield Leeds game. Why do the women pat the scrums down so much quicker than the men and get on with things?
I think when in the men's game, it's more tactical, isn't it, to slow things down as long as they can to get a rest. The girls just want to get on with it. I think the men just need to get a breather. That's what it is.
As Featherstone again come up onto this inside and lose the ball again. Now, what's the referee going to give here? Because you would suggest that it was Wakefield who knocked on there, and that's what he says. Yes.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I actually think Fev knocked it on, and then as the Wakefield player went down to get the ball, it was kicked into her face. So I don't see that as a knock on. But that's what the referee's given.
Who's Wake expecting?
You've got better eyes than I have. Featherstone then again with a scrum, 30 metres. I'm glad I'm not counting the scrums in this one, as Featherstone come down on this right-hand side. They've got numbers on this side as well at the moment. They've got the 2-on-2 it seems at the moment, as the Wakefield defence try and get numbers out onto this side. Will they be able to extend their lead as we head towards the half-time interval? Brogan Kennedy taken down. So now they go back onto the left. Bairstow onto Dobson. Dobson runs into two Wakefield players, make that four now. Who need to get back into the line because they've got some defending to do here. Dobson plays the ball to Bairstow. Bairstow back on the inside, and Featherstone just short of the line. Good run there, good tackling though by Wakefield. Which way will they go now? Bairstow looks for the options onto the left. Left it goes.
That is good defence so far.
As the ball is out, and the ball is held up.
No, great goal line defence by Wakefield. 2 or 3 times there, Featherstone looked like they were going to sneak over, and the Wakefield girls rallied through.
Yeah, Brogan Cherm, I think it was, off the bench, who was just held up. She scored in the game at the Mobile Rocket earlier in the season, but a short pause again now as a couple of Wakefield players are down after that collision. The try-saving tackle. Nice crowd here this afternoon, to say it's a very damp afternoon here at Featherstone, with nothing much to play for in terms of league positions here.
I think it's just local glory what the girls are playing for today, wanting to get one over on the rival.
The big city side.
Big city, yeah. I mean, they're all mates off the field, like, but once it comes to the start of the game, they all get stuck in.
I'm supposed to pretend to hate each other. Like the men do, and then they're all posting on Instagram about how they're great and stuff.
I think York are from Betfred.
I saw a couple of York polo shirts earlier, so I'll get some money into the Fev coffers.
Yeah, just touching on our season again, Richard. We've got 5 or 6 16-year-olds who've played all season this year, which has been absolutely fantastic for the girls coming up into open age, and particularly Women's Super League. So, and these girls are somewhat special. So in the next couple of years, now they get used to it, they're going to be a really strong force to play against, hopefully.
I was going to ask you what's going to happen next year, but I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen next year, do they?
No, we know what's happening next year.
I'll ask you off there then. So Wakefield.
We'll probably win the grand final next year. That's his plans. Yeah.
Always aim for glory. Just manage your expectations as the season goes on, as Wakefield will start a metre out, bang in front of the post from their own line. So they've got to go coast to coast here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. And, eventually they almost throw it away. But Moxon's taken down. Also recovered from that earlier knock on her knee. And Featherstone's defence here trying to keep Wakefield as close to the line as possible, as Cuts will take the ball at dummy half, runs into the former England player Dobson. Not the wisest of moves, you'd say.
No, she's a tough cookie, is Andrea, and she has been for a lot of years. Great leader on the field for Featherstone.
And how England will do without her experience, going down to Papua New Guinea in a couple of weeks' time, and the World Nines coming up as well. There's Cuts taken by Dobson again. Not a fair fight, that one, but Wakefield will run the ball out.
Again, a lack of communication there. We've made 15, 20 metres, fifth tackle, and we took a drive in and handed the ball over on 25 metres from their own goal line.
Yeah, a bit of a mystery, that one, as the referee says he's not ready. And it will be Dobson with the ball in hand who plays the ball to Bairstow. Bairstow out onto this left-hand side again. So taken down about 15 metres away. Bairstow waiting. Ball back on the inside as they go through hands into Grace Cotton, wearing number 1, but playing at scrum half this afternoon for this Featherstone side, looking to pick up their 4th win in a row to close out the Betfred Women's Super League season. Well held there by Featherstone, and they've certainly got numbers on that right hand side, but can't get the ball away. Wakefield need to get ready for the Featherstone attack here, as they've repelled it for the last 20 minutes or so. Still just 6-0 to Featherstone, as Churm is held up and pushed back. So Wakefield defence holds firm at the moment, back on the inside to Dobson, but tied up there by Swain. Good tackle by Swain. And Dobson plays the ball 5 away as they head down to the left hand side. It's a kick this time from well caught but knocked on. Well, I will say well caught, but I was completely wrong there. And the ball is knocked on, and chance goes begging there for Featherstone. Yeah,
it was a really good kick actually, and caught Wakefield off guard, and just couldn't take it in, or there would have been definite score there. So bit of luck.
Yeah, good kick there by Hepworth, and that's both teams now who've had opportunities to score from kicks, which in these weather conditions you can understand why both would go for it. So it's a 7 tackle set for Wakefield as they move 5 metres out. Then he made Shackleton, score of a try against Leeds in the game a few weeks ago at the Mobile Rockets. And Wakefield will play the ball just inside the 30s. Ryan through options into the arms of Cut once again, who met by 2 Featherstone Rovers. Looking to push away there in the tackle. So it's into the arms this time of Wilson off the bench. He's taken down outside the 40. So Wakefield looking to make some metres here, maybe force an error when the kick comes. So hopefully they'll get to the 5th tackle this time and realise it's the 5th tackle as Shackleton takes the ball out onto the left-hand side. So they're just short of halfway still here, Wakefield, and it is the 5th. Taylor with ball in hand puts the ball high. As Hepworth juggles but deals with it.
Yeah, she took that really well, did Katie. We're back to the ball.
We're not taken down by the combination of Cut and Billington. So Featherstone starting just outside their own half. What can they do here with 13 minutes left in this first half of the LD Nutrition Stadium? Dyke takes the ball from dummy half, runs, and he's taken 5 metres in to Wakefield territory. Peeing for a penalty again, but the referee says just get on with it. And that's what they do. Into the arms this time of Chloe Brown off the bench, who's taken down inside the 40. Bairstow tries to get a penalty there with the markers not square, but the referee's having none of it, and Bairstow eventually keeps on running, and he's taken down on the last, and they are 20 metres out. They're looking for the kick again onto the left-hand side. Moxon lets it bounce, takes it, and will she be able to get out of the in-goal area? She does very well there to get out. I mean, let the ball bounce, and Wakefield will start again pretty much on their own line. And unfortunately, no, they haven't got the ball on, but Featherstone have picked it up, and what a comedy of errors that was.
No, it's a hold-up and all, I think. No, that was ridiculous, that, and complete lack of, concentration. You've got to kill the ball. I mean, she kicked it straight back into the Featherstone's hands, and they picked it up. Fortunately, Chloe Billington's come over with an absolute belter of a cover tackle to prevent them scoring a try.
A bit of composure needed. 12 to go until half-time. Dobson running the ball in. Taken down by a good 3 Wakefield defenders. So Bairstow looks on the inside into the arms of Brown. Yeah. Brown held up 2 metres away.
Featherstone have shaped up really strong on the right-hand side here. I don't know if
numbers.
Unfortunately, they've read that of Wakefield and they've shut it down. But there seems to be a lot of pressure on Wakefield's goal line defence this last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but they're holding up so far.
They are, as that ball comes loose. And Wakefield have a chance here as Rhodes takes the loose ball. Got to take advantage of one of these errors eventually, have Wakefield. It's the law of averages as they're appealing for a penalty this time.
There's no real clean breaks yet from either team. I think it'd be nice to see one, because I know Wakefield's got a lot of pace in the back 3 quarters, and if they can get that break, who knows?
Yeah, up to the just short of the 40 now, Wakefield. Approaching the final 10 minutes of the first half here. As Ryan with ball in hand hands the ball off to Moxon. But Moxon taken straight down by 2 Featherstone Rovers as Wakefield looking again down this right hand side for them, but Ryan doesn't see the pass, keeps hold of it. Wise move as the Rovers defenders move up. They're just short of the halfway line now. Can they take advantage here? As Wakefield put the ball out onto the inside to Wilson, who's taken down by 2, but eventually gets the ball away. Nice pass there, and it's into the arms of Swain, the captain. Nice pass from Swain to Brinkley, who loses the ball, and it will be a scrum to Featherstone Rovers. So again, they are creating opportunities, but not able to take advantage of them.
Yeah, that was a nice play off the cuff rugby there, just a little break and some good support play. Again, the conditions aren't helping anyone out here, because the ball's like a bar of soap at the minute.
So about 10 minutes to go until half-time, 6-0 to Featherstone. Opportunity to take on drinks as Bairstow's the one receiving attention from the physio at the moment. She's been doing plenty from dummy half for Featherstone, but if you were down there on the sidelines, which coach would you be happier to be at the moment?
Unbiased. I'd probably say Featherstone at the minute, because I don't think they're doing much wrong. They just look to have that extra bit of flair in them at the minute. However, if I were Ken, the Wakefield coach, I'd be more than happy with the defence, because Featherstone have put quite a lot of pressure on Wakefield's line, and they've held them up very well. And there's only 6 points in it at the minute, so 50-50 really.
Defending well indeed as Taylor first up to the tackle there. There's a bit of a kick out there. Referee and touchers don't see it, so they play on. Not too happy with that one, Rhodes. Who's still involved.
Yeah, what a kick out in a face there. I think both touch judges need to see what's going on in the ruck. That's what they're there for. The referee can't see everything.
No, it's the I get criticised for not allowing referees to be criticised, but they have a very hard job to do out there, especially with, in some games, 26 people on the pitch who are trying to cheat them out.
Yeah, everyone's got the gamemanship head on at times, but the referee's got a really hard task, and you only have to look away for a split second and miss something, and you can't give something you don't see. But I think the touch judges need to help them out a little bit more.
Referee speaking to both captains. I think the game's been too fractious at the moment.
Yeah, there's no in it. It's been played very fair, very tough. That was something of note really, just happened in the tackle, so I don't think note's going to come of this.
Shake hands, get on with it, yeah.
I actually don't know what he's pulled them for, because he's not seen the actual offence.
And it's not as if the game has been littered with niggle, has it?
No.
No more than the game I was here for earlier in the season against Leeds. It's got a bit tasty towards the end.
I mean, it's a contact sport. People get hot-headed at times.
Things happen.
Things do happen. It's rugby league.
If it happens on purpose, then it's an issue. If it happens accidentally, it's not necessarily one. There's Featherstone with a ball in hand. Bairstow gets the ball off to Dobson, fresh from her chat with the referee. And she's taken down 30 metres out. Featherstone leading by 6 points to 0. And the referee does give a penalty this time.
Talk about gamesmanship again. To be fair, there's not been many penalties in the game. It's been pretty clean.
So Churm takes the ball from the tap. It's 10-11 metres there as Featherstone will start then inside the 20. Can they get extra points on the board just before half-time? No, they can't because they knock the ball on. And as much as I've said Wakefield haven't taken opportunity of their chances so far in this game, neither have Featherstone Rovers.
They've been trying. They've been putting the players on. They've had some good shape at times, but yeah, the final pass or the final catch just hasn't come off for them.
It's not been a bad game. 7.5 minutes or so to go. It's a good job there's a big screen here so I can see the clock. 7.5 minutes to go until half-time. Featherstone leading by 6 points to 0. You, of course, can see it at home. I can't. With Wakefield packing down the scrum. Coming away from their own 10-metre line. What can they do then here at Wakefield? Can they get level just before the break to put things in parity? No, not this time.
I think there were definitely hands in there. But you know, the touch judge not seen it. Looked at it. The referee's not seen it. Looked at his touch judge, and he's given a knock on.
Had that nice spell where we didn't have too many errors, but just creeping in again as we approach the half-time interval.
I don't think this rain stopped though. This first half, it's just it's that miserable wet rain that nobody likes.
Well, they had a big overlap there, big chance there on the right-hand side, but it would have taken a nice 30-40 metre pass to get to the Featherstone Rovers winger, and that's the way they're going. They've got the numbers on this right-hand side. Will they extend the lead just before half-time? It's into the arms of the Rovers winger, but Wakefield's numbers are good there.
Yeah, they've covered over really well there.
Perhaps the pass a bit too slow there to the Fev winger. It's into the arms of Bairstow again. Bairstow to Churm, who's taken down about 2 metres short of the line. So what will they go this time? Going on to the left-hand side, you'd expect, and that's the way they go. So the nice pass on the inside to Dobson, and again another good cover tackle there by Wakefield, keeping this Rover side at bay. But again, the numbers on this left, but they go straight. I'm not sure that was the right option from Featherstone as they push back. They just give them more space here with the last tackle. What will they do this time? We saw the good kick from Hepworth last time out. It's into the arms of Dobson this time. She puts the little kick out. Good pass there from Churm, and it will be a second try for Featherstone Rovers just before half-time, about 5 to go before half-time. And it's Brogan Kennedy, the number 11, playing at centre this afternoon. Numbers game that time, and Featherstone had the numbers on that side.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of pressure on Wakefield's line for the last 15-20 minutes. I think the kick was very good, and it bounced straight into her arm, so give them credit for that one. Really good play.
Yeah, 10-0 just before the break. To go until half-time. Elsewhere this afternoon, Leeds take on Wigan. 2 o'clock kick-off over there. 3 o'clock kick-off for St Helens versus Castleford. Interesting to see how all 4 of those sides approach those games, knowing that they've got the big semi-finals next weekend. And of course the grand final this year being shown live on Sky, which is going to be a massive opportunity for the not just the teams involved, but the sport in general. Jamie, so to the side at Pennines from a completely biased perspective. Hopefully a good crowd watches whichever of those 4 teams make it to the Totally Wicked Stadium in a couple of weeks' time as Featherstone Rovers attempt the conversion attempts. This time it goes wide, so still 10-0 to Featherstone with 5 minutes to go until the break.
I think, just touching on what you asked a little bit earlier, Richard, I think the Featherstone coach will probably be really happy how they've managed to get another try, considering Wakefield's defence has been quite solid for this first half. Just before half-time, that is a momentum booster for them. They're going quite confident. I think also Wakefield will still be confident, but that might have just caught them short a little bit. But they've definitely got some scores in them if they can get down near the Featherstone line, but they haven't seen any ball down in their quarter yet.
Referee having to do ball boy duties here as Taylor will restart proceedings. Just under 4 minutes to go until half-time. I think both teams will be looking to get into the nice warm change rooms here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Dry off somewhat. Have they got spare shirts? Or no,
unfortunately. We can't afford them.
the short kick-off there, and Wakefield take it. Well, That seemed to go exceedingly slow.
It did actually, and she got it just on the line. So Wakefield, good thinking there by Lisa Taylor.
Yeah, very good kick there by Taylor. I think she picked up a bit of a blow there to the stomach from Dobson, but it was good smart thinking there. Wakefield have the ball back, very much like an onside kick in the NFL, that one from Taylor, not the usual short kick-off you see, as Wakefield are up just short of the 20 with Wilson making the meters there. They get the ball at dummy half from Woods to Ryan to Moxon, who's in the centre of the field this time looking for work, and it's in the arms of Rhodes now to Shackleton, so they're playing the ball around here a bit. Wakefield trying to bamboozle this Featherstone Rovers defence as they make their way just before the 10-metre line. Couple of minutes to go until half-time. Ryan, ball in hand to Wilson, who's taken down 5 away.
I think if they'd had their eyes up there, they had a 4-on-2 on the left-hand side.
Come to the right from Ryan with the kick up to Billington. Just can't take it, and good chance goes begging there for Wakefield. Almost for Wakefield again. That's almost 2 tries.
2 tries from 2 kicks, but neither of them taken so far. Yeah, good play actually, and unfortunately I think there were a slight collision as she were taking it, so she wasn't confident maybe.
At least they're creating opportunities. That's the one thing with 2 minutes left in the first half. Again, looking for that extra person to make up the numbers in the scrum at Wakefield.
Yeah, taking a leap out of the men's book there.
No shot clock here today, it's broken. Featherstone are 15 metres out from their own line. Can they add more points on before the break, or will Wakefield hold them at bay? We're about to find out as we approach the half-time interval here in the Betfred Womens Super League. Featherstone Rovers leading by 10 points to 0 against this Wakefield Trinity side. Plenty of defensive work to do in this first half. There's Chloe Reynolds, who makes good metres. Just pushed back a few of those by Wakefield as Featherstone just behind their own 40-metre line as they come onto this right-hand side. Churn through the centre of the field. Nice hands as Featherstone play the ball to Hepworth. Hepworth with the pass out to Dyke on the wing. She cuts back inside. He's well tackled there by Billington and cut. From what I've seen of Wakefield this year, Billington very, very good defensively.
She's a cracking young player. Again, another girl who we picked up from Rugby Union last year. She has to play with confidence, so it took her a while to get used to league, and I think this season's done the world of good. I'm looking forward to her improving even more next year, and if she makes a clean break, there's very few people, I believe, in Women's Super League will be able to catch her. She's got some right pace.
Go forward, says Wilson, but she has the ball in hand this time. Gets over the halfway line, smashed in the tackle by Featherstone's Chloe Brown. Wilson gets up, plays the ball, and we get on with it down the left-hand side. Moxon again coming on to the into the middle of the field looking for work. Just taken down near the touchline. The ball goes to ground, and the referee will say that was knocked on. And it will be a Featherstone Rovers scrum.
Yeah, I think if our girls have got their eyes on the clock, they won't even play this scrum out.
They're walking exceedingly slowly towards the scrum. And there it is, that's half-time. Featherstone Rovers 10, Wakefield Trinity 0. A few errors thanks to the weather, but overall an entertaining game of rugby league to watch. 2 tries from Fev, from Joey Teese and Brogan Kennedy. One of those converted by Katie Hepworth. And Wakefield, well, they created chances, a couple of opportunities there. One for Chloe Billington, you just saw a couple of moments ago, and Alicia Rhodes. But all in all, good defensive effort from Wakefield. Featherstone looking for that 4th win in a row, and at the moment they're on target to do so. Half-time here in the Betfred Women's Super League. It is Featherstone Rovers 10, Wakefield Trinity 0. Second half about to kick off then at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Featherstone Rovers leading Wakefield Trinity by 10 points to 0. Final game of the Women's Super League season. I don't know if they've had much chance to dry off in that half-time interval. Final score from the League One playoff semi-final earlier today, and Newcastle Thunder hammered Doncaster 34 points to 4. So they will play Oldham next week for a place in the championship this next season. Will they be coming to Post Office Road next year though? Because Featherstone, of course, play Toulouse later tonight in the semi-final, which sees the winner make it through to the £1 million game, or championship grand final as they've called it for most of the season. 10-0 to Featherstone. Tries from Joey Teese and Brogan Kennedy. One of those converted by Katie Hepworth, and they will be going down the famous slope here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. It's the second most famous slope in rugby league. Good job, Batley haven't got a women's team in the...
They used to. They did have a couple of years back. It's not a nice slope at Batley.
Thompson kicks the ball, and eventually it will be taken by Wakefield just inside the touchline as Cut is evasive almost, and makes a good 10 metres there. So Wakefield 10-0 down at half-time. Thanks everyone joining us on Facebook Live this Sunday afternoon. You have chosen wisely to stay inside while we're avoiding the rain here on the gantry at the LD Nutrition Stadium as Billington runs across the field. Ray Wilkins-esque run across the field, and Wakefield will get possession with Moxon again coming inside to get some work through the centre of the field, but she drops the ball under pressure from Featherstone, and it will be a knock-on, so Featherstone will get possession early doors. Yeah,
it's a shame really, because I thought the first couple of scoops it were a decent exit from Wakefield, and I didn't see really what happened there. Just a legs tackle and the ball came out.
So Featherstone will start just outside the 40. Scrum back down already. And it's Senior who will put the ball in again. Wakefield don't have the setup ready. Featherstone ready and waiting. No, Featherstone get the ball out and play it down that left-hand side. They're taking down 40 metres out then. Can they extend their lead early doors in this second half? Back out onto the left again, into the arms of Hammond, who did plenty of work in the first half as the rain continues to fall here. And a autumnal Featherstone move the ball back onto the inside of the Rovers to Greenham, who's taken down just outside the 20. So Wakefield again back on defence early part of this second half. Bit of a tangle in the tackle, but eventually the ball is played out, and it's with Senior with the ball.
It looks a bit like he's let it go.
It did look a bit lateral, as they say, to Harrowell, who's taken down. It's about 15 metres out from the Wakefield line. Just a couple of tackles left into the arms of Dobson. Dobson back to Hepworth, who's well tackled there by Wakefield's Claire Reynard. Last tackle. Ball into the arms of Dobson. Scored from a kick last time out. That's what they do this time. It's straight into the arms of the Wakefield player, who knocks the ball backwards. And unfortunately for her, and unfortunately for Wakefield, it will be a try because Castleford fall on that one first. So Castleford with the first try of the second half, and they open up a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing what could have happened for Wakefield. Featherstone's first attacking set after an error after the restart from, and a nice kick. It was a great kick through, but you have to do better than that, taking a ball.
Yeah, 2 tries from the boot of Dobson then, either side of half-time. Trying to work out who was the Featherstone player who got the ball down there in the end. I think it might have been Senior, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. As Hepworth lines up the conversion.
Oh, was the contact in the air? No, that's the question.
Where's the video referee?
No, definitely not. I think we're on the floor.
So conversion lined up by Hepworth as Featherstone get off the second half to the perfect start, leading by 14 points to 0 now. Plenty of people watching on Facebook this afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Don't forget to give the page a like, share the video, make sure as many people are watching this match as possible. Enjoy some Sunday afternoon rugby league. As Hepworth kicks the ball just onto the inside of the uprights. That's a 16-0 lead for Featherstone Rovers in this final Betfred Women's Super League game of the season for both these sides. Looks like Featherstone will go on to a 4th straight victory. The season certainly picked up in the last few weeks. David's looking for a Rovers double today, of course. The men in action, Featherstone later in the south of France against Toulouse. But the main reason I like Featherstone in Super League is I haven't got a passport at the moment for admin reasons, not anything sinister. So at least I can get into Featherstone without the passport. I can't get into Toulouse or Toronto. Let's see if I'm allowed back in after nearly calling them Castleford in the first half. 16-0. About 5 minutes gone in the second half as Wakefield will resume. Got plenty of work to do up the hill in this second half, but Featherstone will Wakefield go for the short kick off this time.
Yeah, it's actually a good kick, and fortunately it bounced in Featherstone's favour there, but yeah, a decent little kick off that.
Jess Hammond was able to take the ball. Bounced nicely for her, and Featherstone will start 40 metres out from their own line. The referee says nothing going wrong there, as almost a bit of a coming together between the two, but Featherstone up to halfway. So again, plenty of defensive work here for Wakefield to do, but have held Featherstone at bay for most of this game. Those are high there on Chloe Brown, taken down by two Wakefield defenders as they're up to the 40. Ball coming out onto the left-hand side from Hepworth. Hepworth with two runners, but she ignores both and takes it on herself. And it's the last tackle already, just outside the 30. So again, they'll look for the boots. Probably Dobson again this time, and it is in the arms of Dobson. How will she go this time? She goes high. Nice kick. How will Wakefield deal with this one? They let it bounce.
They've definitely got to deal with it because...
and Moxon's tackled in goal.
No, that was a really good kick by Andrea Dobson there. She put some good height on it, and it was swaying as it came down, so it was a difficult kick to deal with.
Yeah, right into the swirling winds here at the LD Nutrition Stadium this afternoon. Perfect conditions for rugby league in the olden days. People who want to see the game played in winter again, what kind of sadists are they, or masochists? They always get those two mixed up. They'll never let me on Sky. They kick the ball from the dropouts, and Featherstone will start 40 metres out into the arms once again of Brown, who gets up to just short of the 20 metre line. Kick to the 30, of course, not the 40. So appealing for a penalty. Here's Cairo Newby at dummy half, but the referee says just get on with it as Churm is taken down. As mentioned earlier, she scored in the game between these two sides at the Mobile Rocket earlier in the season in much more summery conditions. Back into the arms of Hammond. Hammond taken down about 5 metres out. So again, defensive work to do here for Wakefield. The rain appears to be getting worse. Back onto the inside, into the arms of Churm. Churm's on to Dobson, who is surrounded by about 4 or 5 Wakefield defenders. And plays the ball quickly, and they get it out to Hepworth, who steps twice, but eventually gets the ball away, but to no one. And Wakefield looking to push back on that one, and again, nice work there from Wakefield, pushing the Featherstone Rovers back, but they've got the numbers on this right-hand side. Didn't use them. Do they need to? Well, perhaps they did. Last tackle, so still the defensive effort goes on here for Wakefield. Can Featherstone force yet another set? It's into the arm. Well, it's not into the arms of no one. That was a poor pass, and Wakefield will get possession. Featherstone had a big chance there. Didn't do anything with it. As Wakefield moved the ball away from their own 10 metres. You can probably hear the rain on the roof here now at the LD Nutrition. It's going absolutely. It's getting worse. As I don't think anyone wants to go down injured in this game, because the longer they're down injured, the longer they have to stay out in this.
Yeah, I think there were a clash of heads there as Reynard took the ball forward. I think Churm just flat-footed a little bit, and they clashed heads in that tackle.
So a slight delay as Maddie Hurst comes on for Wakefield. Another one of these young players in the squad who's been given an opportunity here this year. The RFL talk about this 21 for 21, don't they? Lots of women involved in the game. Doing their part here at Wakefield.
Yeah, we are. We've got a growth programme that we've had up and running now for the last couple of years, and we're trying to get more women and girls playing in and around the area, and we've been quite successful over the last 12-18 months, and that moves forward even more next year. So, you know, all the clubs have bought into the women and girls programme now, and it's just going to get bigger and stronger over the next few years.
Not sure they needed a flop there in the tackle, as Moxon was well guarded there by Brown, but not to worry, as Wakefield are up just short of their own 20. The rain siloing down here at the LD Nutrition Stadium, and the wind as well. Ryan with the arms of the ball to cut to. Looks and steps on the inside and gets the half break, but again he's taken down by Churm. Nice pass though, as they get the ball out to Brinkley, who eventually gets the pass out wide as well. So Wakefield playing the ball here in conditions which don't necessarily merit it, and eventually Briley will be held up. Getting a bit annoyed there by the Featherstone defence. Not needed much of that as Ryan takes the ball, steps, puts the ball into space.
It's a lovely kick actually, under a bit of pressure. And yeah, Wakefield were throwing it down there. The hands were pretty clean.
Looks like Dobson may have picked up a knock there, just hobbling slightly as they wander back to the scrum. I said earlier they were quick at packing the scrums, the women compared to men, but I think now the weather playing its part in this contest.
Yeah, I think the sluggish conditions underfoot have slowed everyone down a bit, and they're trying to get as much breathers as they can now.
16-0 Featherstone lead coming up to the final half hour of the game. Dobson ordering her troops around. And they go on to the centre of the field. Featherstone just short of the halfway line. Then can they extend their lead? They've already scored 3 tries in this match. Looking for their 4th straight win of the Betfred Women's Super League season. Just over halfway then as Hammond plays the ball back onto the inside. And they get the ball out wide, showing good hands here. Featherstone, they've seen the overlap, but unable to take advantage of that as Harrowell is taken down just short of the 40. Looks at the touch just says, get on with it. As it's in the arms of Dobson. Dobson with a step, but taken down by 3. And held down there. But looks at the referee again, not happy with the work from Catlin there.
Now, look again at sportsmanship.
It did look
frustrated Dobson a little bit, did that, but she'll crack on. She's used to it. She's had years of experience of it herself.
It didn't look like she was pushing her down, but she's just saying, just get on with it. Oh no, unfortunately, the ball is now to be dealt with there by Wakefield. So Rosa comes up with the error, and it will be a scrum for Featherstone 10 metres away from the Wakefield line. Featherstone coaches have to love to get on the field and give some encouragement to their players. So I think Leeds were too happy with that earlier in the season.
No, I think it's hard. Game days, yeah, you get messages on when your water carriers are running on, but at the end of the day, once they're playing, a little bit of fortune there, I think. Featherstone looked certain to have a score.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a second try of the half for Featherstone, but unfortunately the ball not able to stick in these conditions as Swain, the Wakefield captain, runs the ball up this time, and she's just short of the 30 and not happy with the tackle there, isn't the referee. Swain stays down. She's not a player who would stay down if she wasn't hurt.
No, she's a tough cookie, is Danny. Been around the game for years, former international. She just finished a 12-hour night shift before she came here, and also, that is a true warrior, a true leader of Women's Rugby League.
So, back on her feet. Yeah, no bother. 12-hour night shift, bit of water. Bashed by a fair player, gets up to play the ball. 16-0 to Featherstone Rovers. There's the referee blows the whistle, and eventually we do restart. And it is Swain who will take the ball out. Penalised against rather, and pushed that bar by a good tackle there by the Featherstone Rovers defence. As Wakefield are 25 metres out from their own line in the arms of Gatlin this time, who is taken down 30 out. Gatlin plays the ball and it's back onto the inside to Moxon, who's doing plenty of work in the middle of the field here. Moxon, as the modern backs tend to do, come inside looking for work.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to see Tara get a half break, because she's got a clean pair of heels as well, and if she finds some space, she'll take some catching.
First look for the offload, but was tied up and sensibly takes the ball down. Wakefield 40 metres out from their own line. They play the ball with Woods at dummy half, out to the arms of Brinkley. Brinkley to Ryan. Ryan back on the inside. And again, Catlin taken down, just short of halfway. Final tackle, so Ryan looking for the ball just in the inside the 40. Goes to her. Good kick so far from her, and
another one actually.
Bounced well there.
Yeah, bounced straight into her arms.
And they will take the ball out, just 40 short of 40 out from their own line, leading by 16 points to 0 inside the final half hour of the Betfred Women's Super League season for both these sides. I'm sure plenty of thoughts on what's gone right and wrong over the off-season. Dobson gets the ball and he's over halfway. Big hit there on Rhodes. Leads with a forearm, but that's what the fans are saying below us anyway. They're not bothered. There's a big tackle there by Brinkley. Jumps into the tackle and they don't stop defending, do they, Wakefield? That's the one thing. I know they've had some big scores against them this season, but they don't stop trying to stop the points coming in against them. Rosa with the ball. Dropped in the tackle and Featherstone take advantage, so they get possession back again. They're inside the 20 with another set of sixes. Running from dummy half is Chloe Reynolds, who's taken down inside the 10. So good position here for Fev. 10 away into the arms of Dobson. Dobson on the outside to Kennedy, who's already scored one. And there she is with her second of the game. Second try for Kennedy. And Featherstone going to a 20 points to 0 lead here at the LD Nutrition. Forced the error from the kick. Rose with the ball drops, unable to be dropped on by a Wakefield player. And the Featherstone Rovers take advantage. Dobson with the pass to Kennedy, who's able to power over for her second try of the game. Featherstone Rovers leading this one by 20 points to 0. Referee again talking to Andrea Dobson, or rather Andrea Dobson's talking to the referee at the moment. Not happy with that push down in the tackle by Wakefield's Jordan Catlin. But the Tush's had a good view of that one. He wasn't too upset by it. Obviously Dobson was, because she's still continuing that conversation with the referee. As Hepworth lines up the conversion. 2 from 3 so far for the Featherstone halfback. So I'm not sure if the referee was talking to Andrea Dobson, or if Andrea Dobson was talking to the referee in that little chat there.
Sorry, I got distracted with something else then, Richard, but I'm not so sure.
Kick isn't good, and it remains 20 points. Now, I think she was still talking about that incident with Jordan Catlin, but
yeah, to be honest, I don't.
Long gone now. It's a couple of minutes.
Yeah, there's no gone on really in this game. It's been quite a fair contest, really, and physical from both teams.
It's really what you want to see.
I'm just going to give credit to one of the Wakefield players. I think Alicia Rose in this near side centre. She's probably by now made at least 40 tackles. She's been all over the park since the start of the game, and she's stood up very well against everyone who took the ball to her. So for a 16-year-old kid, I think she's an outstanding player and a great prospect moving forwards.
Yeah, she's all action, isn't she? So I think she's going to take the restart here as well.
She don't get tired. There's not many players like that who've got an engine on them. They never get tired, never break a sweat, just keep going from start to finish. So
I was going to say I didn't get tired at 16, but that would be a lie.
I got tired walking up these steps onto these gantry.
My extremely short, very rubbish playing career attest to that at school. As Rhodes takes the restart, and goes low, puts it into space, and Featherstone will pick the ball up 20 metres out from their own line. Crowd getting into this one now, 20 points now. They have been into the hits in this one throughout the contest, as just evades the tackle there. Does Hammond from Featherstone.
Yeah, I think...
oh, and a knock on. So Wakefield will get possession back here eventually.
Yeah, it has been a very even contest, even though it's 20 points up now, Featherstone. A couple of errors from Wakefield, what's gifted Fev the tries maybe. But they defended really well, the first half in particular. They've not seen much ball at the minute. Now see what they can do in the Featherstone 30 and hopefully maybe get a score for themselves, because I think they deserve one today.
Yeah, error-free set hopefully here from a Wakefield perspective, as Brinkley takes the ball from the base of the scrum. Makes the half break, almost through there. I think it's Hammond there again with the tackle. She's been good in defence for defence and attack for Rovers.
Yeah, she's played well for them today. Actually, if she hadn't broke out of that scrum, she was through Amy, because she'd wrong-footed Katie Epworth.
I love Cut's running style. Always looking for that break. Always looking to get through the line.
A great athlete, Georgia. Got plenty of pace and all. Someone else with half a break, she can score.
There's Wilson. He's tackled 10 metres out. Is this the chance then for Wakefield to get points on the board? It's into the arms of Ryan. Ryan with the cut out passes. They've got a chance here with Moxon on the wing, but she's taken into touch. Again, nice play from Wakefield.
Yeah, it was good play. I think they probably just settled one more maybe and put a bit more shape on the right hand side. They had the numbers on. But they're not scared of playing with ball.
No. It's good to see. In these conditions, it's getting cold up here now. Glad I'm not out on the field. 20-0, 20 minutes left at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Featherstone Rovers looking like they're going to pick up their fourth win in a row. Will finish the season just outside the playoff spots, which you wouldn't have expected a month or so back. Gives them plenty of confidence going into the 2020 Betfred Women's Super League season, as they're up to the 30-metre line. Moving the ball out onto this right-hand side. They've got the break as well. And could this be a try, a first long-distance try of the game, as it's Reynolds who's well taken down there by Cuts.
Absolute brilliant tackle that. She looks certain to score.
The referee's given a penalty here. And I'm not sure what for. Is it for Rhodes coming in late? Well,
that's a terrible call, to be honest.
There's not anything we haven't seen already in this game.
No, the cover tackle from Georgia coming over then to stop Cotton getting down that wing were outstanding. But I think he's given holding down, which I don't think so at all.
Especially not when we've seen it on both sides throughout the game, as Newby will take the penalty.
The tackle's still live if she's sliding across the floor anyway, so it's not like he's called. He hasn't even called held.
They start 15 metres out, and it's Harrowell who takes the ball in to the 10. So Featherstone in perfect position here, coming up to the final 20 minutes of the season for both these sides. As it's the Featherstone Rovers 19 Greenham who's taken down. Another penalty this time. We had very few penalties in the first half, and now starting to rack them up for
what I tend to find is when officials get questioned, they get a little bit more excited on the whistle sometimes.
As Featherstone with the numbers out on this left-hand side, but they go through the centre. Plenty of numbers on the left there. Wakefield need to find the numbers because they've got 5 on 3 at the moment. And again, they go short there, Featherstone, when they nearly scored. So it's not for me to say that it's the wrong option, but Wakefield able to perhaps scramble back. Ball played scruffily. Dobson with ball in hand. And that one goes backwards, so it doesn't. And the referee will give us come out. As I say, I was a very poor player. I'm not one to criticise anyone here, but it did look like the option there for Featherstone was on the left, because they took 2 tackles there and made no metres into the centre of the field.
Yeah, exactly. They did have the numbers on the left-hand side and they had the shape set up. And I think if they played with their eyes up and gone that way, then maybe they've got another score. But credit to Wakefield again. Yeah, they've got in the faces, put them off the play, and got a scrum on their own 10, see what they can do with it.
Take it down the blind side there, not the best of passes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the chance is straight back to Featherstone Rovers. See Cairo Newby there just making the gesture for the Rovers players to calm down. Perhaps getting a bit overexcited here as they'll pack the scrum 10 metres out.
Try not to get frustrated with some of these plays, what we're seeing. I'm trying not to be too biased either, but I could see what they were trying to do there, but it was poor execution.
So Featherstone 10 metres away from the Wakefield line again as they get the ball out onto that left-hand side, where again the numbers are, but again they go through the centre. They are screen with the ball on that left-hand side, but again they go through the middle of the field. Everything to the right here for Featherstone at the moment. Dobson with the pass, almost an interception, but now they've got the numbers on the right-hand side. They're everywhere, Featherstone, as Harrowell makes the half break. It goes into the arms of Senior, and that's well tackled there.
That's a right tackle.
Good cover. Catches tackle there by Swain, and Featherstone with Dobson. They have the numbers, and it could be a hat-trick here for Kennedy if they can get her down. She's lost the ball there.
Yeah, great cover defence again. Alicia Rhodes and Tyler Moxon then thought that were a fantastic effort to prevent her getting that ball down.
They appear to just love tackling. I know they've had, it's not necessarily something you want to do a lot of in a game, but they don't shirk from doing it, this Wakefield side.
Well, they've had to do a lot of it this year.
I know, I almost don't want to say that. But, not to sugarcoat anything, but they've had to do a lot of defending this year, but they keep doing it. They don't stop.
No, they don't
They
stop.
don't let the heads go down.
They never give up. At every game, regardless of scorelines, they keep going to the end. And like I said at the beginning of this game, it's a massive learning curve for everybody. A big learning curve for the girls, but I think it's one of us it's a learning curve what's going to put them in good stead for next year, definitely so.
We patronising and say things like they make you proud, but they do make you proud that they're wearing the shirt of the Wakefield Trinity Club and they're out there defending their honour each and every week.
Yeah, and that badge means the world to me and to the girls as well. So they want to play every week. They want to do the best. They go out there to win regardless, and they're happy to put that shirt on and do the best to compete as best they can.
I'd have loved to have been anywhere near as good to get anywhere near any kind of Wakefield side as a junior. So to see these players out there representing the club with dignity is a pleasure to watch. They certainly are trying. Last 20 minutes of the match, last 20 minutes of the season. Can Wakefield get on the board? Ball with Ryan, gets the ball out onto that right hand side, but the Featherstone defence up quickly.
Yeah, Featherstone's line speed has been very good from the start of this game. It's just not allowing Wakefield to get past that advantage line, and I think they're having to work hard individual play to try and make some half breaks here.
Yeah, tried to make the break but just slipped on the turf there. You can see the markings of how much she slipped there. Very wet underfoot, as you'd expect with the conditions here this afternoon, but they are still trying to get points on the board. Brinkley now rather, with the ball, drops it off to Wilson. Nice pass from her, back to Brinkley. Brinkley looking to shape on this left-hand side to Rhodes. Rhodes to Moxon, who taken down just inside there.
Well, I think it might have been a late tackle, yeah.
There is Moxon. She's wearing the wrong shirt now, isn't she?
She is, yeah. She's because we got her in mid-season, we didn't get a shirt printed.
Just testing myself. Wakefield then starting on halfway as Swain will play the ball. One's waiting at dummy half to Ryan. Ryan back inside to Catlin, who it's a couple of Featherstone players lying on. Still remember what she did earlier in this second half as Ryan gets the ball back inside to Wilson. Wilson, nice hands, and they get the ball out on this left-hand side from Swain. Swain to Brinkley, who's taken down inside the 40. Wakefield not afraid to throw the ball around in these wet conditions again into the arms of Wilson. Wilson up to the 30, takes down two players. No support there for her. Possibly a chance of an offload, but takes the tackle. Wakefield inside the 30. Again, it's Woods waiting at dummy half. Ball to Ryan. Ryan on the right-hand side this time as Brearley is tackled. Last one.
Marginal pass, I think.
Lateral. It's Ryan with the kick, high, asking questions of Featherstone. Wakefield with the ball, still on the last, and eventually will be attacking. It will be the handover, and Featherstone will start about 15 metres out from their own line. And the clock's gone off the big screens. That's very helpful. 20 points to 0 to Featherstone Rovers. Oh, it's back on. 15 minutes left here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. As they get up outside their own 20. Moxon appealing for numbers to come out onto this left-hand side, and that's the way they go. Featherstone have got the numbers, but unable to get the ball out of the tackle. So Wakefield survive again. The ball is played between the legs of Wilson this time, and it's a break for Rovers. Swain misses the tackle this time as it's evaded by Casey Bullman, who eventually is taken down inside the 40. So good chance here for Fev as Wakefield trying to get their numbers back on side quickly. The ball back inside from Hepworth as they are taken down 25 metres out.
Knock on. Yep,
there's a knock on.
Seen that one, yeah.
So Featherstone lose possession, and Wakefield will get the scrum 25 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, but a nice half break there by Kaylee Bullman, and I think again Wakefield rallied back really well to cover that.
Someone's not happy in the crowd. I don't know what with. Fans are never happy about anything. Offsides, forward passes, big fights. Never happen. So they'll pat the scrum down. Last 13 minutes of the season for both these teams. Again, it's Billington with that running style looking to find the gap. Can't find it this time, but they're up to the 30 and Moxon will get the ball at dummy half, and she takes the ball herself. Thought she might do that and gets a good 10 metres there, does Moxon. And she will play the ball now, and the ball comes out into the centre of the field once again. It's with Wilson, who's taken by 4 Featherstone players in the end. Woods looking for options, shrugs her shoulders. Goes to Ryan. Ryan with Swain as the dummy runner. Catlin then this time. Nice pass dropped off. And Featherstone make the tackle, but the ball comes loose one-on-one, and it's Rovers who get the ball back there. I think,
yeah, I don't actually know the rule this year. There were 2 people in the tackle. As she's hit the floor, one's peeled off, and she's got the ball at one-on-one ball steal, so I'm not sure technically what the rule is.
Georgia Cook wasn't happy. She obviously said something, but the referee hasn't penalised her for dissent, but has a chat with Danny Swain anyway. No one knows the rules anyway.
No.
The referees do, but no one else does. People still think the momentum rules a thing. That was Steve inventing that on the telly 20 years ago. Featherstone then. 30 metres the Wakefield line. 20 points to 0. They lead. Final game of the Betfred Women's Super League season. The regular season, of course, because it's the semi-finals next weekend. St Helens taking on Leeds. Castleford versus Wigan. May pop down to that one. The referee says that ball wasn't knocked on. And Senior gets the ball on the inside. Bairstow back on the field at dummy half. So Wakefield slowly play the ball down, and they get the ball back out to the right hand side again as Brogan Kennedy looking for a hat-trick, but unable to keep the ball in hand this time, and it will be a knock-on and a scrum, and the ball will be back in the possession of Wakefield. Yeah, semi-finals next week. Castleford versus Wigan and St Helens versus Leeds. The winners of those meet in the final at the Totally Wicked Stadium on the night before the men's grand final. It's going to be a nice couple of days over the M62 as the ball is played at the base of the scrum, and Wakefield are at 20 metres from their own line. Can they get points on the board in the closing stage of this game? Then coming up to the final 10 minutes here at the LD Nutrition. Cut again with the half break. Certainly have made plenty of metres since coming off the bench in this one. Will cut as she's taken down just outside the 30. It's Woods at dummy half to Ryan. Ryan back to Catlin, who is grabbed by a couple of Featherstone players. But the ball comes out to Cut as she tries to make a half break again. Gets the ball outside to Billington. Billington evades one tackle. Can she get out on the inside? Oh, she's lost the ball. So again, Wakefield trying to do something, but the handling just not going their way. Is it the pressure of being nil? No one wants to be nil. Everyone wants to get points on the board.
No, I'm not so sure. I think they're just eager to try and do something good for the teammates. And look, I'm all for open rugby and trying something different. Unfortunately, today's weather conditions don't really suit that. Maybe.
No, 20 points to, when they met earlier in the season at the Mobile Rocket, it was 40 points to 8, the final score to Featherstone. So
it wasn't. It was only the last 15 minutes where Featherstone got the upper hand, because it was quite a close game for the first hour or so there.
As they get the ball through the centre of the field. I've enjoyed my trips down to the Mobile Rocket this season to watch Wakefield. Something fun to do on a Sunday afternoon. Hopefully more people do it next year. A slight break in play here. I think, Pete, I had never watched a women's game until last season, just before the Challenge Cup final, which was helpful having presented it. So I had no expectations of what I was going to see. I enjoy it. I think it's a really enjoyable facet of our sport. We need to do a lot more to promote.
We do, and I think slowly but surely everyone's coming on board, as they should do. Let's take Castleford for example. They've really upped their game, marketing their team. and which shows with the following what they're getting. Where home and away, they're getting a good 300-400 supporters. In fact, when we played them down at the Mobile Rocket, I think there were 900 down there, so it's fantastic to see. But we'll try and get more clubs buying into it, get more fans on board, and if they come down, they're going to love it. Absolutely love it. Some great stars on show and some good rugby league on show by all the teams.
Yeah, we'll see if Warrington's social media department get behind their women's team, having won the Championship League Leaders Shield. There's a loose ball there by Featherstone, but it's into the arms of Senior, who is taken down about 6 metres out. So chance here for Featherstone into the final. Well, just over 8 minutes left of the game. Dobson, ball in hand, takes the chance, and the referee says it was a forward pass.
No, crossing.
Oh, crossing, sorry.
Yeah.
Not paying attention. So I told you I didn't know the rules.
Yeah, the decoy went through. But because she made contact with a Wakefield defensive player, then it's an obstruction.
Penalty for Wakefield then in the centre of the field, and Danny Swain will run the ball up. Makes just short of 10 metres. Eventually being pushed back by a couple of Featherstone players. Thought he might have picked up a knock there, but gets up, plays the ball. And it's Wilson who is met by another couple of Featherstone Rovers players. So can Wakefield get point? 7.5 minutes left in this match. As she does well to hold on to the ball there, Kathleen. I thought she was going to spill the ball there, but did well to keep hold. Wakefield playing with 12 at the minute. There's Swain's down in back play. Ryan with ball in hand gets the ball on. It's a great interception there by Featherstone Rovers, and they won't be stopping a 5th try of the game for Featherstone. Interception, and Featherstone were well up with that one, and they take a 24 points to their lead.
Yeah, unfortunate for Wakefield, but Katie's got so much experience. She read the play, what was being thrown at her there, and she gambled, and it paid off for a great interception try for her.
My erstwhile colleague Mr. Schofield would have enjoyed that one if he was watching, but he hasn't got the internet, so he's still got it. C-Fancy's closing down, let alone the internet. 24-0 then to Featherstone. And as you said earlier, and correctly, many of the Featherstone tries this afternoon, not to take anything away from Rovers, but have come from Wakefield errors. So,
yeah, I think definitely 3 just from Wakefield Trinity girls. Just
not saying Wakefield don't,
indecisions at times, maybe.
Don't deserve to lead, or
no, absolutely. Featherstone's capitalised on it, but they've had to work hard today. They've had to work really hard. I mean, they have a team full of current internationals and ex-internationals as well. So Wakefield can have had a good account of themselves, and they should be really positive. I know they came here today wanting to get the result. 5 or 6 minutes left, they're not going to get that now, but it'd be nice to see them get over the score sheet today and maybe finish on a high before the season finishes, and we can have a relaxing time for a few weeks.
Hepworth converts her own try, and it's 26 points to 0. The Featherstone Rovers lead as we head towards the final 5 minutes of the game, as the rain continues to fall at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Semi-finals next week. Wigan, Saints Leeds. You'd expect Castleford. I expect Castleford to beat Wigan. They've not had a great season, the champions.
I think it's a hard call, the other one, for Saints and Leeds. I think Saints have been strong all year long, and Leeds just seem to know how to put the perfect game plan on when it counts, so who knows.
Big game team, aren't they? I've only seen Saints once, and that was against Wakefield, so it's not really the best measure of them, but they did play very well in that game down at the Mobile Rocket earlier in the season. And obviously they have another team full of internationals. They play Castleford 3 o'clock kick-off this afternoon, which will be an interesting potential. I call it a grand final preview. I was pulled up by one of the Leeds squad on that comment to grovel about that, as Featherstone start 40 metres out from their own line, or are 40 metres out from their own line rather, looking to get another try on the board just before the end of this contest, up to halfway. Then how will they finish this match and indeed this season off? They're going to end with 4 games, 4 wins in a row, and give away a penalty on halfway, so a chance here for Wakefield.
I didn't see what happened there, so I don't know what that one's for.
Pushed off the play ball. Play ball.
Not allowed to push the markers off at the play of the ball.
I think what we've noticed this second half, Lisa Taylor went off at half-time and she's not been back on. And her leadership and the way she takes the ball forward and rallies the troops in defence probably just lowered the tempo down for Wakefield a little bit as well. But Stacey Wilson, who's on the ball now, she's had a cracking spell while she's been on. She's took the ball forward a lot and she's caused a lot of problems for Featherstone Rovers.
It's not stopped, has she?
No, not at all. She's got a great engine on her and she's a real workhorse.
Have to get the checkbook out in the off season. Some big money signings here. You know what the fans are like at Wakefield. They expect success now. As Woods gets the ball at dummy half, and the ball is back with Wilson. Brickley taken out late there. As Wilson's eventually held up, pushed back, and Woods again at dummy half to Ryan. Ryan misses the pass to Shackleton, takes the ball herself. Final tackle already, 3 left. What will they do with the kick here? Well, Ryan's unfortunately got the ball, which is a bit of a problem.
The player who needs the ball has got tackled in possession, so
as Wilson puts the ball up.
Bit of a random boot from Stacey there.
Almost pulls off the arrow. Not got her in the team for a kicking, have you? But that wasn't a bad one.
No.
Seen worse from forwards.
Knock on at play the ball. So
here we go. Here we go.
Couple of minutes left. Can Wakefield do anything? Try and get on that score sheet.
I know it's nearly October. It's getting dark here at the LD Nutrition Stadium.
I've got to shoot straight over to Selby after this to see our physical disability team who are playing in the final series this afternoon at Selby Rugby Union. Hopefully they'll get to the grand final and maybe pick up some silverware.
Get a star on the shirt. That's what we need.
Absolutely.
Some trophies, but I believe that's somewhere on the RFL, either Facebook or YouTube. They're streaming.
It's the RFL YouTube channel.
There you go.
Streamed live today.
And they're also doing the Saints Cast game. So Leeds are doing that. There's going to be more games on today streamed in the Women's Super League than you'll have had in the whole season from some. As Swain comes straight back off the bench and back on the field as
like Emma Ryan's coming off now.
She's had a good game.
She's had a cracking game. She's been a great player for us all season, and I mean she's only small in stature as you can see, but she does get knocked about quite a bit and she gets targeted, but she plays on, and she must be really have to come off today. I think she played for 4 weeks with a broken hand without telling us. That's how tough she is.
There's no regard for her own health, is there, these players? Male or female, they're not bothered. They just want to play rugby, and that's what Wakefield are doing at the moment inside the Featherstone Rovers 10. Can they end the season with a try? If they do, there'll be massive celebrations. We've seen that in the last few weeks. Shackleton, who scored the try against Leeds a couple of weeks ago, takes the ball up, but he's met by 4 Featherstone Rovers defenders. Numbers out on this left-hand side for Wakefield, and that's the way they go. Back with Wilson, who drives the ball forward.
I think if they're just smart with the ball in hand here and clean with the passing,
and it's not to be, because the pass from Woods to Caitlin goes to the floor. Swain's obviously not.
I think someone stood on her foot, but I could see what they were trying to do there, but I actually think their option were on the left-hand side, to be fair.
Did appear that way. Final 2 minutes then of the match of the season. Featherstone leading 26. I think the spectators will have enjoyed the game. I know there's been plenty of errors due to the weather, but it's been a decent game of rugby league. Applause there for Ryan, who's carried to the bench. Seems happy enough.
I'm sure she's fine.
Last knockings of the 2019 Betfred Women's Super League season for both these sides. Featherstone looking, or will end the season with 4 straight victories. They will finish just outside the playoff zone, so plenty for them to be proud of in the closing weeks of the season. Of course, grand finalists in season 1 of the Women's Super League, after it was all restarted in a sense. Women's Rugby League, as Churm is taken down on the halfway line. So Featherstone looking to extend their lead, Wakefield looking to stop them as we enter the final minute of the season. Again, it's Hepworth who has scored 1, converted 3 this afternoon. Last tackle, and you expect the kick to come, and it does come. Moxon waits for the bounce, takes it the second chance, and looks to get through this defence. Just taken down there by a couple of them, including Brogan Kennedy, who scored 2 tries this afternoon for this Rovers side. So last chance for Wakefield as Cut has the ball. Where's Richard Whiteley when you need him? Wakefield in possession. It's back to Wilson. Yeah, get the old chip and chase. That's what they want. As again, they're taking out. May as well try something now because there are 15 seconds left on the clock. Wilson at dummy half to Rhodes. Rhodes with the high boots. Yeah, but it's knocked on. So the ball is in play and it will be a scrum, but I'm not sure there'll be enough time. No, that's it. End of the game. End of the season. Featherstone 26, Wakefield 0. They're pushing and shoving after the hooter.
I think that's a bit poor from Bowman. Then I think they weren't in that. They were just trying to compete for the ball, but an entertaining game. I think both teams played well to get put on a show and tried. They had to work hard in Featherstone to get the result. Wakefield didn't stop. They kept going, and they'll be disappointed. But look at them; they're all embracing one another. I think they know that they've had a tough year and they've got through it. And fair play to them. Look forward to next year. Definitely going to improve.
On to 2020 we go. You enjoy the PDRL at Selby, and hopefully it's drier there this afternoon.
Yeah, you just reminded me, I've got to shoot straight off. So, Richard, thanks very much.
No problem.
Enjoy.
Pleasure as
trying
always.
out.
No, I will do. James Stephenson there. He's off to Selby. Well, I'm not going to Selby. Don't fancy any more rain. Don't forget, later tonight, Featherstone Rovers taking on Toulouse Olympique in the Championship £1 million game qualifier. We're all back in Feather, of course. We're honestly Fev back in Super League because it'd be very funny if they were. Final score here then, 26 points, 0 tries, we think, from Zoe Tees, Chelsea senior, and a pair from Brogan Kennedy. KP Hepworth also on the board with a try and 3 conversions. 26-0 the final scoreline here. Having met earlier in the season, it was a 40-0 win for Fev at the Mobile Rocket. I'm sure Wakefield will be happy with their defence this afternoon and looking not to score on a couple of occasions from kicks, Billington and Rhodes, both with chances. But as James was saying, plenty of positives for Wakefield. They end the season, it looks like they'll be bottom anyway. 1 win from their 13, 1 win from their 14 rather, and plenty of opportunities for improvement in 2020 because either Wakefield players there in the centre of the field, they can be proud of their efforts this year, and I'm sure they'll go on to better things in 2020. Thanks for joining us on Facebook. Don't forget the semi-finals of the competition next weekend. It's St Helens versus Leeds, Castleford versus Wigan, and the grand final in a couple of weeks' time at the Totally Wicked Stadium. If you've joined the stream this afternoon, don't forget to share it. You can like the Wakefield Trinity Ladies page on Facebook, follow them on Twitter at WTLRL. I think I've got those letters in the right order. And make sure you're at the grand final in a couple of weeks' time at the Totally Wicked Stadium, because whichever of the 4 teams are there, it's bound to be a belting afternoon. If you don't, make sure you're watching it on Sky, and make sure you tell the people involved in this sport that you are enjoying Women's Rugby League and you want to see more of it. But from a damp and cold and wet LD Nutrition Stadium, it's the end of the season for Wakefield. They've been beaten by Featherstone Rovers by 26 points to 0.